Flacco fever is officially done in Cleveland. It already was, but now it is definitely over. The Browns are trading Joe Flacco along with a 6th-round pick to the Cincinnati Bengals in exchange for a 5th-round pick. The rare interdivisional trade. You don't see this very often, especially at the quarterback position, but the Bengals are in desperate need of quarterback help, with Joe Burrow being shelved for the next few months, likely for the season, would be my guess. Jake Browning not looking very good, throwing multiple interceptions.
Breaking news, and it's absolutely insane. The Cleveland Browns just shipped Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals for a 5th and 6th round pick. Yeah, you heard that right. Grandpa Joe is back on the highway, Super Bowl ring in the glove box, probably blasting old victory songs like it's 2013 all over again. What are the Browns thinking? Did they just throw logic out the window, or are the Bengals trying to summon playoff magic from the ghosts of quarterbacks past? This trade's got more spice than a sideline argument caught on camera. The Cleveland Browns have officially turned chaos into a lifestyle choice. Out of nowhere, boom. Joe, I've seen it all. Flacco is gone, traded like a discount item at a football flea market. From couch to comeback to cardboard box, this man just keeps rewriting NFL survival stories. You've got to ask yourself, did Cleveland forget the guy basically dragged them out of disaster last season?
Breaking news in the AFC North. The Bengals, after getting their asses absolutely smacked the last couple weeks without Joe Burrow, are trading for the other Joe Cool, Joe Flacco. They go from Cool Joe to the coolest Joe. Ty Schmidt, you are seemingly flabbergasted by this move. Why are you reacting the way that you are reacting?
Play the Bengals this week. Joe Flacco just beat him a couple weeks ago at the Browns. He's going to come back in and fucking beat him again. Joe Flacco's going to beat the Packers. I was really looking forward to getting a bite out of the Jake Browning act.
Or maybe someone in the front office spilled their morning coffee, panicked, and hit trade instead of save on the roster sheet. It's madness. But one thing's crystal clear. The AFC North just turned into a circus. Joe Flacco in orange and black? That's not just a headline. That's a full-on sitcom waiting to happen. Picture this. Joe Burrow, the golden boy of Cincinnati, walks into practice cool as ever. Then instructs Flacco like that one uncle who still wears aviators indoors and says, "Back in my day, we didn't need TikTok to prove we were clutch." The tension, the confusion, the memes, it's already writing itself. The internet's about to explode over this one because in football, nothing's funnier or more chaotic than a veteran quarterback crashing another team's fairy tale. This is the same Joe Flacco who turned the Browns from maybe next year to straight up dangerous for about 3 unforgettable weeks.
Out to come, or is they finna not let him move up the depth chart? Oh my God, guys, this has happened 2 minutes ago. This is going to be the biggest story of the day. Why did they just get rid of Joe Flacco? Now, did Joe Flacco want to leave? Did Joe Flacco want to leave? I don't know. But Joe Flacco had to go. Could this have been a ploy? Because what I was hearing is that the Bengals was trying to get our guy.
Last season, he had Cleveland fans believing again. And let's be honest, that's harder than convincing a cat to take a bath without losing a finger. The man showed up, brought poise, leadership, and that slick Baltimore swagger that made every snap feel like a comeback movie in progress. And how did Cleveland thank him? By handing him a one-way ticket out of town. Appreciate the memories, Joe. Now grab your suitcase. We've got some shiny draft picks to gamble on. It's wild. The guy who literally steadied the ship just got traded for 2 scratch-off lottery chances that probably won't even hit. It's poetic in a tragic, only in Cleveland kind of way. You can practically hear the front office convincing themselves, we didn't lose a veteran quarterback, we gained potential. Potential? That word's been haunting this team longer than bad weather on game day. It's like their bedtime story. Once upon a time, potential turned into disappointment. But now let's talk about the Bengals, because what are they cooking over there? Burrow's been banged up, the backups have been shaky, and suddenly they dial 911 for Grandpa Joe. It's so Cincinnati it hurts. Sure, his playoff DNA is certified legendary, The man's seen more postseason chaos than most teams combined. But come on, this move screams desperation wrapped in nostalgia. You can't help but wonder if they're hoping his Super Bowl mojo can rub off one more time, or if this is just one big, last-minute panic play. You just know the Bengals GM saw Joe Flacco's name on that availability list and got hit with a flashback straight out of the AFC North glory days. The Ravens, the Steelers, the Bengals, everyone used to dread that man. He was the boogeyman of December football. You could almost hear the echo of old broadcast calls. Flacco's heating up again as front offices started sweating. Now picture Joe Burrow in practice glancing over mid-throw like, wait, am I supposed to mentor this dude, or is he about to steal my snaps if I blink wrong? Because here's the thing, Flacco doesn't just play backup, he haunts the depth chart.
Today about Joe Flacco getting traded to Cincinnati.
Oh, Joe Flacco getting traded, he was definitely somebody I leaned on for wisdom, and I feel like he helped me a lot. He helped me a lot while my time being here in Cleveland and his time being here in Cleveland. So now, you know, everybody has their own destinies and have their own plans they have in life. So I'm just happy for him.
Have you talked to him yet?
Yeah, I seen him in the facility. I seen him.
Before or after the news?
After, for sure. Yeah, and then he told me, I'm like, dang, that happened quick. Like, that was.
The man's like a quarterback ghost who appears out of nowhere, drops 350 yards and 3 touchdowns on your division rival, then vanishes into the mist like nothing ever happened. That's Joe Flacco, the NFL's most polite nightmare. And for the Browns, oh, this is classic Cleveland chaos. They've been turning blessings into cautionary tales since before some of their rookies were even born. The moment something starts working, they freak out like success is contagious. Flacco gave them stability, swagger, and real touchdown passes. Things you'd think they'd want to keep. But nope, instead, they're out here trading him away like a lucky charm they got tired of holding. You don't ship off a guy like that unless you've got a master plan or absolutely no plan at all. But this trade, it's deeper than X's and O's. It's psychological. The Browns are screaming, we're moving forward. But forward to what exactly? Back to Deshaun Watson's endless rehab updates? Back to another season of who's our quarterback this week? Chaos? Cleveland doesn't rebuild, they recycle drama. They've turned dysfunction into tradition. Somehow, even when peace knocks on their door, they send it packing just to keep the storm alive. Let's be real. Bengals fans are probably split straight down the middle right now. Half of them are saying, smart move, we needed a veteran, while the other half are staring at their phones like, wait, did we just enter a Madden simulation gone off the rails? Because let's face it, on paper this move looks like something your younger cousin does after rage quitting 2 games in a row. Panic trade for a 39-year-old quarterback and call it destiny.
In the NFL, reported by Adam Schefter, the Cincinnati Bengals are acquiring quarterback Joe Flacco from the Cleveland Browns in exchange for a 5th-round draft pick. Fun fact, this is the first time the two teams have traded with each other since 1999. The two AFC North rivals helping each other out here. The Bengals trying to save their season. We all know what's going on with them. Joe Burrow goes down with a toe injury. He's going to miss the entire year. So now the Bengals are trying to save their season because Jake Browning stole.
It's chaotic brilliance or pure madness, no in between. But here's the wild twist. Joe Flacco might actually be the smartest person in this whole story. Think about it. The man just escaped the freezing chaos of Cleveland for an offense stacked with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and a front office that actually knows how to function without setting the building on fire. He just leveled up big time. Flacco's the NFL's ultimate substitute teacher, shows up last minute, drops wisdom, throws darts, and somehow becomes everyone's favorite by the end of class. You can't even hate it. His career's been one long roller coaster of underdog magic, memes, and miraculous comebacks. Every time people count him out, he finds a way to crash the storyline again, like he's allergic to retirement papers. And honestly, he's right not to stop. Every season, some desperate team realizes they need a calm veteran who's been through every kind of football disaster, from busted O-lines to full-on locker room mutinies. And disaster? Oh, the Bengals know that feeling all too well. That's what makes this pairing strangely perfect. Cincinnati gets a seasoned quarterback who won't blink under pressure, and Flacco gets another shot to be the late season savior. You can already picture it. Burrow tweaks something mid-season, the stadium gasps, and suddenly it's Flacco time in Cincinnati. The crowd's nervous, the memes start flying, and somewhere deep down, even the haters are tuning in because they know when Joe Flacco walks back onto that field, chaos and magic are never far behind. The internet's about to explode. Browns fans will act like they never cared in the first place. Ravens fans will let out a collective groan. Steelers fans will laugh so hard they'll nearly choke on their victory wings. And just like that, the AFC North turns into a family reunion full of petty drama and old grudges. It's perfect. Everyone's got an opinion, and no one's holding back.
Exactly what you guys are going to get with Joe Flacco, but it will be interesting now to see how Joe Flacco performs in a different offense in the same season in which he performed so poorly in the Browns' offensive system. I will be keeping my eyes on that. And for everybody rushing to assume that the Browns are going to make Shedeur Sanders the QB2 now in Cleveland, pump the brakes until the official announcement comes out from the organization that that is indeed the fact. Because I wouldn't put it past them to move Bailey Zappi onto the active roster and make him.
But let's talk about Cleveland's side of this mess. Because in Browns' logic, a 5th and 6th round pick is basically pure gold. You can already hear the press conference spin, "We're building for the future." Future what, though? Those picks are about as guaranteed as sunshine at a December home game. They'll act like they just pulled off a masterclass in team building, when in reality it's just another round of Cleveland roulette. Every time they look stable, they pull a stunt like this just to keep the chaos alive. They thrive in it. It's their brand at this point. And if you squint, there's something kind of poetic here. The same Joe Flacco who once haunted the Bengals as a Raven is now wearing their colors, orange and black. It's full circle drama straight out of a football soap opera. The AFC North doesn't just compete, it entertains. Flacco's the unexpected cameo no one saw coming, but everyone's secretly obsessed with. Meanwhile, in Cincinnati, the fan base is spiraling. One minute they're preaching patience, hoping to get Burrow back healthy and keep Jamar Chase smiling. The next, they're browsing for Flacco jerseys like it's 2012 again. They're convincing themselves this isn't a farewell tour. It's a tactical master plan. You know the delusion's strong when fans start saying stuff like, well, technically experience is more important than speed. And somewhere out there, Joe Flacco's probably grinning, calm, unbothered, watching all this madness unfold because he's seen it all before. And somehow, he's still part of the story. He's gone from Super Bowl MVP to backup, from written off to reborn. And now, he's back in the division that knows his name a little too well. Maybe Joe Flacco's chasing one last dance with destiny, or maybe he just can't resist being part of the NFL's never-ending reality show. Either way, you've got to admit, it's pure genius. This move is either going to be a brilliant masterstroke that saves the Bengals season, or that awkward decision fans whisper about years later with a nervous laugh.
I didn't see this one coming. Joe Flacco was just traded to in-state rival Cincinnati Bengals. Didn't see this coming. I'm sure in Cleveland Brown fashion, Joe Flacco is going to completely light us up when we play him, and he'll put the Bengals back in contention. You watch. But what that means is Shedeur Sanders is QB2 and might be playing sooner rather than later.
Remember when we traded for Joe Flacco? Yeah, that really happened. And as for Cleveland, oh, you know how they'll spin it. This move gives us flexibility. We're building depth translation. We had no plan, but we'll figure something out before training camp. It's the same old song on repeat. The Browns front office could turn a GPS into a mystery novel and still claim they're finding their direction. But admit it, there's something deliciously satisfying about watching all this chaos unfold. The Browns trading away the man who literally saved their season, and the Bengals swooping in to grab him like a chess piece with a grudge. It's got everything, rivalry, revenge, and ridiculousness all rolled into one. This is football poetry. Messy, unpredictable, and absolutely glorious. The AFC North just became a soap opera with shoulder pads. You can almost feel the tension building. the defensive coordinators across the division quietly sweating bullets because they know if Flacco ever steps on that field, he's not throwing like some nervous backup. He's slinging it like a man who stared down Super Bowl lights and didn't blink. And that's the wild part. Love him or hate him, Joe Flacco refuses to fade quietly. Every time the league thinks he's done, he shows up again, calm as ever.
Trading Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals, the Bengals who desperately need a quarterback right now. Jake Browning has looked awful, probably the worst starting quarterback in the NFL, you could argue. Folks, this is a blockbuster.
Ready to rewrite another chapter, and this one's already shaping up to be legendary. He's basically the NFL's version of that one coworker who's retired twice but still outperforms everyone in the office. You can't even be mad, and the man just keeps showing up and making it look easy. The irony is wild, though. Joe Flacco, once the proud face of Baltimore's dominance, has now become the wandering nomad of the AFC North. Ravens, Browns, Bengals. What's next, the Steelers? Don't even joke. At this point, anything feels possible. The memes are loading, the fans are reacting, and the chaos is delicious. In this twisted saga, everybody wins. Sort of. Cleveland gets to act like they're rebuilding again, because that's their favorite hobby. Cincinnati gets a backup who might actually win them a playoff game if Burrow blinks wrong. And Joe Flacco, he gets another surprise chapter in a career that refuses to end. Meanwhile, the rest of us get front row seats to the circus, popcorn in hand, watching NFL history repeat itself in the most entertaining way possible. Now the real question, what happens next? Does Joe Flacco become Burrow's ultimate insurance policy, the calm vet who saves the day when chaos strikes?
Cincinnati Bengals have just traded with the Cleveland Browns to acquire Joe Flacco. Ladies and gentlemen, that has Dylan Gabriel, who didn't play that badly this past weekend, as your QB1 with, logically speaking, Shedeur Sanders moving up as your QB2. It's getting very interesting. Now, I don't know if y'all know the news.
Does he pull off another miracle and turn this into the comeback sequel no one asked for but everyone secretly loves? Or, and this is the best part, does Cleveland realize what they've done halfway through the season and start texting him like an ex who just remembered how good they had it? You can already imagine that, hey, you up? Message from the Browns front office. Whatever happens, one thing's locked in. Joe Flacco's story is far from over. It never is. Every time the credits start to roll, he just walks back into frame and steals the scene again. Drop your thoughts below, because this trade's going down in the hall of what were they thinking moves, a wild, glittering gamble that could change everything. And that's not even the craziest part, because the moment Joe Flacco packed his duffel for Cincinnati, one door slammed shut in Cleveland, and another one cracked open wide for one man to take over, Shedeur Sanders. Yep, it's his time now. Every camera in Cleveland just swung toward the new kid, swagger in his step, ice in his veins, and a confidence you can feel through the screen. This isn't just a depth chart adjustment.
To me that Flacco and a 6th-round pick are being sent to the Bengals. In exchange, the Browns will receive a 5th-round pick. Now, this all comes after Flacco was benched. Through his first 4 games as the Browns starting quarterback this season, Flacco threw 6 interceptions. He fumbled the ball 2 times. The Browns opting to go with rookie Dylan Gabriel as their starter in Week 5 against the Vikings in London. But they still said they were going to lean on Flacco as a veteran leader and as a team captain. But this trade became available. The Bengals in need of a quarterback after Joe Burrow's toe injury is expected to sideline him at least 3 months. The Bengals now have their guy in Flacco. The Browns quarterback room consists of their QB1, Dylan Gabriel, fellow rookie Shadraur Sanders, and Bailey Zappi, who's been...
This is the start of a whole new chapter for the Browns. You can literally sense it in the air. The tension, the excitement, the what if hanging over every conversation. This isn't about replacing Joe Flacco. It's about rewriting the future of Cleveland football. For months, fans have been whispering the same questions. When's Shedeur getting the shot? Is he ready? Can he handle the pressure? Well, guess what? The waiting's over. Ready or not, the door just got kicked wide open and that spotlight is blinding. With Flacco gone, there's no veteran cushion left. It's go time. Either Deshaun Watson proves he's fully back, or Shedeur Sanders steps in and flips the entire AFC North upside down. And honestly, you couldn't script this better if you tried. The Browns, forever chasing the next great quarterback, might have just stumbled into their answer by accident. One trade, one shift, and suddenly the stage is set for one of the biggest shakeups of the entire season. This isn't some random backup getting thrown in because of injury. This could be the guy, the face of the next era in Cleveland. Because here's the thing.
Shedeur Sanders is going to be. I know I believe in the brother. I know I wouldn't mind seeing him in Las Vegas. I know I wouldn't mind seeing him in the bright lights on center stage because he got that kind of swag with him. I definitely feel that way. But I'm here to tell you right now, when I look at it and I look at him, I got to tell you something. I don't mind that suggestion at all. But just to reiterate, Joe Flacco for the Cleveland Browns has just been traded to the Cincinnati Bengals because obviously they've lost faith in Jake Browning, who was about to have, he looked like he was just having a meltdown on the sidelines.
Shedeur's built different. He's got that effortless swagger that doesn't feel fake, that quiet composure that never cracks under heat, and that game day calm that makes defensive coordinators sweat bullets. He's not scared of the noise. He feeds off it. And lucky for him, Cleveland has plenty of it to go around. It's poetic, really. One door closing on Joe Flacco's veteran chapter, and another one creaking open to reveal pure, unfiltered potential. The Browns have spent years searching for the one, and now, whether they planned it or not, they might have just found him. And for Shedeur, this moment isn't luck, it's destiny. Every throw he's ever made, every headline, every ounce of pressure, it's all been training for this. You can already imagine the energy he's about to bring into that locker room. Electric, fearless, unstoppable. The kind that doesn't just change games, it changes the whole culture. After years of heartbreak, bad calls, and leadership that couldn't hold a game plan together for more than a month, Cleveland might finally have something real. A spark, a player with fire in his veins, and the calm to control it. This isn't just about throwing touchdowns anymore. It's about belief. And Shedeur Sanders has that rare presence that makes people believe again. You can see it already.
It's come to fruition. This means Shedeur Sanders is clearly moving up to be the backup quarterback. This means Dillon Gabriel is the starter going forward. Cleveland's going with their rookies, folks. Flacco's on the way out. He looked awful this season, a turnover machine. In his 4 starts, he had 8 turnovers, 6 interceptions. There's no need for him in Cleveland, but the Bengals...
The energy shifting, the hope returning, fans whispering his name like it's a prophecy. Because when a young quarterback steps in and starts showing promise, that hope spreads fast, faster than a highlight clip on social media. Even Deshaun Watson's situation becomes background noise compared to the buzz surrounding Shedeur. And if Watson struggles or sits again, those chants for Shedeur are going to get louder and louder until the coaches can't tune them out anymore. That's how new legends are born. Not when things are easy, but when chaos is everywhere and someone steps up anyway. This is that moment for Cleveland. The perfect storm. A chance for Shedeur Sanders to walk in and light up a franchise that's been desperate for a savior. Maybe he's the one who finally breaks the curse, the one who makes believers out of doubters and turns the Browns from a punchline into a powerhouse. And if he pulls it off, if Shedeur actually rises to the moment and delivers, then this Joe Flacco trade won't be remembered as the day Cleveland lost a veteran. It'll go down as the day they accidentally launched a new era, the beginning of something legendary. So here's the real question. Did the Browns just open the door to disaster, or did they unknowingly set the perfect stage for a star to be born? Let me know what you think down below, and if you made it this far, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you on the next one.